Namaste, this is Rishikeshwritings, and today we are at Aurovalley Ashram Rishikesh, which is run and managed by Swami Brahmdev ji. Namaste, Swamiji, please share about this ashram and since how long you've been operating and your journey to Himalaya.
This ashram is based on the philosophy of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother of Pondicherry. And the name of this ashram is Aurovalley, inspired from the Aurovalley dream of the Mother to create something like a Auroville in the Himalayas near Ganges.
Somehow this dream is successful.
Actually, I not believe in failures. Always life is successful. Our life is a mother's dream here, and I think life is always successful. But what is the dream of the mother to create a place, something like a paradise, or to create a place which belongs to all and people can live to discover themselves, to grow their consciousness, and to live for the divine and work for the divine only. So, with that clarity, I inspired from the Aurovalley dream and start searching
And
how this can be somewhere in the Himalayas near Ganges. And that dream made me mad. And I was day and night start thinking, feeling, aspiring, so only just how to create something like Aurovalley in the Himalayas.
when you were not in a Aurovalley, what you was doing in your life and how the Aurobindo ji come into your life?
I finished actually my education, university education, and then after that, from even when I was studying, I was feeling that I have not to live this life to find a job and to survive with the job and live like that. And even from the very beginning, there was something very deep inside, clear that I have to live for. I have not to live like in the normal way, much like to marry and to find a job and to earn money and to survive. So then I was thinking that what to do. So in Indian system, from the very childhood, this thought comes in our mind that you have to go to the Himalaya, find a cave and do tapasya, find a guru. God will be happy and God will then, you will get everything, something like that. So with that clarity, I left home and start searching, looking where is the place. Then in that period, so many different experiences of different places, different ashrams, different sadhus. I went to Himalaya, many places, lived there, and went deep into the life of how the sadhus are living in the ashram and caves and what they do.
So when you say you was in a Himalaya, you are interacting with the sadhu and saint. Which part of Himalaya you are? When we say talk about the Uttarakhand state, it's a Himalayan
It
state.
is yet.
You was in a Kumaon Gadwal region or you are in a Gadwal region?
Now only mostly in Garhwal.
Gadwal.
I went some places in Kumaon also, but mostly like Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Tungnath, this kind of places. And some deep places there, many places, so beautiful.
So how do you find when you visit those places and interact with the saint? And, Did you find your answers, or you says there is something still missing after coming to that particular places?
Without knowing anything, I started journey one day because I saw somewhere this there was written that like a milestone Gangotri, Gomukh, Gangotri. So I was not knowing those days even Gangotri. So then one day I start moving towards Gangotri. I went to Gangotri. Then from Gangotri, somebody was saying there is a next there is a Gomukh. So I went to Gomukh. Then someone said there is one Tapovan there. So I went to Tapovan. Those days, life was something like a beggar's, like nothing. Wherever you,
Yeah.
so inner feelings were moving you. You just following. And I went to Tapovan. There was a one Shimla Baba those days there. And I just went and I said, I just say I knocked. There was something like that. So he said, who? I said, I don't know. So I stay with him 2 nights. It was so beautiful, like super peaceful, beautiful place. It was so difficult to stay there, to live there. Everywhere snow and very cold. And so something in me deeper inside was feeling very content, peaceful, joyful, blissful. And that journey from Gomukh to Tapovan was also very dangerous, very beautiful. And but those experiences, they somewhere very strongly entered inside. And I remember that how when I returned from Tapovan back, because I went just only without any preparation, nothing, and I was having even nothing. So then I start thinking that okay, how I can come back again to stay here for longer period. And the whole way from Tapovan to down, I start crying and coming down. What to do with this life? So then many places in different, like in Badrinath I stayed many times, different places. Tungnath was very beautiful. So to see the life of different sadhus, how they are living there. But, it was okay, but there was nothing like which touched me that to live like them or to do something like them. So that way I was moving like a fakir's life, beggar's life, not any place to live, nothing to, but always everywhere, somewhere you can meet people, you can meet something like you, people are moving like you, and different places to stay, anywhere, wherever.
So when you see, we have a traditional way of understanding the spirituality. There is a also you says you understand the spirituality in a very different way. So how do you find any differences, or it is a baby step to understanding the divine?
Actually, this spirituality is not a part-time something. Spirituality is something like is a whole life engagement. It is not in part-time like go to the temple and then you do your work and then you feel like you are spiritual and all. Nothing like that. It is something that you have to completely consecrate your life to the divine. You have to give yourself to the divine. You have no any other priority in the life. Only one priority, divine. To live for the divine only, just only that.
But when we see the life of the human being, he have to manage financial also, he have to manage the home people also, and things like how it can find the time for the spirituality. Like, because Maya is very strong, and your thought is in one subject to another subject. But how a person can take time to understand the self and the simplicity?
Thing is that when one is attached with the self, then one start thinking about self. How I will survive and what will happen and from where the food will come and how you stay and all these things. But here in my case, from the very beginning, I said, this life is not mine. This life belongs to the divine, and I always pray to God, please take me. And if you have like take my life. This life is for you, and I only want to live for you. Take this life for you. So it was something like that. So and then, I don't know, by divine grace, some faith was there in the divine. If divine is there, then why should I worry for my surviving? So I grow with that. If this life belongs to the divine. Divine must have some plan, program for this life. Nature never create anything without any meaning, without any purpose. If someone created this life, there may be a reason, meaning. So with this faith in the divine, I always very strongly from the childhood, it was very clear that if God is there, so, and if the God created all, so then God must be having a program for everything, plan for everything. So why should we worry for our surviving? And this kind of feeling was very clear. So.
And when was the first time you introduced yourself to the teachings of the Aurovalley, the Aurobindo ji?
Yes, how I came in contact with Sri Aurobindo. I was not knowing Mother Sri Aurobindo, nothing. But once I was in Himalayas, in Uttarkashi near somewhere, and there I met someone. Like on the way you met people and become friendly, something. And those days I was not having any place to live. So I just asked him that, please help me, tell me that if you know some place where I can live. So this person, he told me that I know someone in Haridwar. There is one ashram and I can speak with them. And so I was not having any choice. I said, okay. So I went to Haridwar. And in Haridwar there is one Sri Aurobindo Yoga Mandir. The Sri Aurobindo Ashram there, like. And I went there, it was empty, nobody was living there, and somebody was managing that place. So he introduced me with that manager, and they said, okay, you can come and stay here. So that was my beginning. And as soon as I entered in that place, there was one word was written there, "Oh beauty, you are my way to the divine." So it was something like it is something which entered in me like a, "Oh beauty, you are my way to the divine." And with this word, I start feeling very comfortable. Then I saw first time the mother's picture there. And I don't know what happened with that. It was something like that. No words to explain that. Like you entered somewhere in the sky, and full of bliss, joy, simply with that, without knowing who is she, what is this, and that experience was super great. First day, first time, and after that, everything was start becoming clear, no duality, no doubt, and I start living there. And because there I read Mother Sri Aurobindo, and more start feeling that I find my way. I don't think then from there I never any thought came that I have to do anything else, to go somewhere else, or to look for any other thing. So from there, then after that, I went to Pondicherry. There I saw all that ashram of very different ashram, very completely another vision, another way of living, and like nothing like as we have here traditional ashrams. Nothing is like that. Everybody was working there, and people living just like normal life, and everybody is living for the selfless, like for the divine, and there I come to know that there is something like Aurovalley, the mother's dream, a place where all can live together on earth without any contradiction, and they all can live for the to live for their higher aspirations and live for the divine earth, a place something like a paradise on earth.
From there you get the inspiration.
That dream of the mother creates some sort of earthquake inside. Like, oh my God, super! If something, this should be somewhere in the Himalaya near Ganges, because I started from Himalaya and this river Ganges. So Ganga ji was always very touching. So I was thinking that if something like that should be somewhere there in the near Ganges. So this thought make me mad. I start thinking I have to make something like that. So that way the journey started, and
then you put the first milestone in Rishikesh.
But it is not in one day it happened. Then the real process started. And you just imagine a person who not have a place to live, nothing even to know nothing to eat, sleep, what to do, and start thinking like to create a place like Auroville in the Himalaya. But inside something was very clear and content. And I was day and night start dreaming, thinking, feeling only just how to create something like Auroville. Then Aurovalley thought came, this name came. And many other beautiful things happened. And I started searching place. Once this temple priest of Tungnath temple, I speak with him this all idea, and they said, okay, we can give you land as much you want. Start. And but it was so so high, so difficult. That once there is a land of Birla here near Haridwar, I went to Birla. I said, give me this all land, where now there is the Shantikun University. And Birla said, okay, I'll give you 10 acres land. Is there something like that? I said, not 10 acres, give me all. And we even start, one day we went there I was having a good connection with some good sadhus and enlightened souls, and we did puja there. That's okay. But they not give all the land. So I said, no, we not want, I want all. So then, like that, looking many places, and then very big frustration, because it was madness. No? So I frustrated like how. So then I decided to go and live in Pondicherry. Then one day I decided to go to Pondicherry. And I went to Pondicherry. Before that also 3-4 times I went there. So when I decided to go and live there in Pondicherry, so I went to the chief trustee was there, Dumman Bhai. So I went to Dumman Bhai and asked him that I came. So I am here, and now do whatever you want with me. So, and Dumman Bhai took me to, there is a one Gloria farm of Pondicherry Ashram. So he took me to the Gloria, and I start living there in Gloria. It's an agriculture field, very beautiful. So there I stay about 1 year. And after 1 year again, this inside, no, somewhere place is there waiting for you, calling you. Aurovalley is there. So I decided, okay, I will leave this Gloria, Pondicherry Ashram, and I was decided to go to Tungnath. I said better to go to, because Tungnath I loved that place very much. So I said I will go to Tungnath, and idea was to leave the body there. So I left Pondicherry, and then I came to Haridwar. And Haridwar, again, when I came, I met, because I was having some Phakad friends, some sadhus. So again, same story. They all know that I am looking, so always have that thought to find a place, to looking for a place. So then, instead of going to Tungnath, I start moving this area with one of my friends. He was in Moni Baba. So Moni Baba, we were very close. Like Moni Baba now expired, but Moni Baba said, let's go. And Moni Baba was knowing that I was always looking something land, some place. So then we just moving and came to this area. And when I came here, like in this land like waiting for, like a mama waiting for you. Hug me, roam, start dancing. And this is the place. Then somehow we start, then later on, then we start knowing who is this place, where is this place. Then beautiful stories happen, and how we met the people. And there's also a very interesting story with that. I was having a friend, very close friend, with whom we were traveling, always moving around Pakar time. But he was very industrialist. So, when I came to know that this land belongs to someone, some person, so I speak with him. He said, oh, no problem, come. And it was something like that this man is very close to that person. So then we went to meet that person in Bombay. This man said, okay, it was a trust property, and the idea was that to create something like a ashram or something, Goshala. So then many things slowly, and I came here and start. He gave, and it was so difficult those days to even to think to live here, because it was all jungle, forest, nobody was around, nothing. But it took me about 6 months to think how to come, and then there was nothing here. Then with one break, things start happening, many things, slowly. Mother's dream start fulfilling. And the mother's presence and it was something like that, a mother's miracle, that how she created all this and how she was always with me, guiding, protecting, and without any problem in the sense that without any problems came many, but how she always with me, protected and doing this work. It is her dream, it is her work, and it is she who is doing this. And
so you are just the medium?
I don't even feel I am media, I am nothing. I am nothing.
So what exactly you organizes in this particular place?
The idea of Sri Aurobindo is that how to unite the world, how to create a human unity, world union, and how to create that harmony and atmosphere in the world that people can grow their consciousness and make their life meaningful, useful, and live for like not only selfish life, selfless, good life.
And what message would you like to convey to the young audience of India?
The thing is that the value of our life is not because of any degree or diploma or a piece of paper. The value of human life is because of their consciousness. If one has a good consciousness, which is the meaning and purpose of life, that to grow consciousness and live with that, then one can really make the life meaningful and useful life. Because the thing is that when we generally, what young people, we think that if we have a degree or a diploma or some sort of this kind of things, then we are something. But the reality is that as soon as you achieve any degree, diploma, this diploma is just to make you a slave. We never even think that we are going to school, universities to become a slave. Slave means that now you have a diploma, now you have to go somewhere and become a slave of someone, and he will give you some food to live and you will survive.
How the consciousness can be expanded? What the person or what the student, a young student who is studying in the university, schools and things, how that particular student can expand the consciousness?
Now the thing is that first of all, we have to first grow full faith and confidence in ourselves. And this ourself, what we can self, this self belongs to the divine. And the best thing is that offer this self to the divine and let the divine decide what to do with this life. If we can grow faith in if we have no any faith in the divine, only we have faith on our mental capacities, our ignorance, then how can we live a beautiful life? This life actually is because you see that everything around us is living. No any creature is worried for surviving. No any creature thinks for future or for what will happen. Only we human beings, because of our limited knowledge or because of our ignorance, always thinking what will happen to me, what is my future, and worried for the future. Instead of worried for the future, if one can grow confidence, faith, and one can grow awareness, consciousness of oneself, one can become a king of this whole universe, whole this world. All those who gave us in this world any knowledge, any life, any purpose, meaning to live this life, they were all illiterate. They never went to any school, colleges. And we are making research on those peoples in the universities. Guru Nanak not went to any school, Kabir not went to any school, Surdas, Tulsidas, they were all simply, they get connected with themselves and all the knowledge start coming to them from their inner. So everything is inside us. But our bad luck is that none of the school, none of our institutions, they give us that knowledge that one has to discover everything inside. One has to go for everything inside. We only taught that how to go outside and discover your love, peace, joy, bliss, happiness.
When you said you have to go inside, how the person can go inside? Is it do he have some kind of mechanism system, or he have to pray, he have to breathe? What is the key point? How the lock of the door will open?
The thing is, life always comes to meet you. Always we have to face the situations, circumstances, environments. Whenever you are facing any situation in the life, it is life who is coming to you. Whenever you are facing any circumstances, environments, good, bad things, up, downs, pressures, hard things, bad things, good things, it is the life which is coming to you, to meet you. So if one can meet the life, meet the situations, face the situations, not to postpone, not to fear, not to afraid, not to run away. So then, with that experience, one can grow consciousness. One can meet oneself, and that will grow your confidence, faith in you. When you face any problem or difficulty, that difficulty grow your confidence in you, grow your faith in you. And once you have that confidence, that faith, that grow your awareness, consciousness, make you more aware how to meet the life, how to handle the situations. So that way one can grow consciousness. That is the way. That is the education. It is life. Life itself is a school. If one can start learning from this life, one can learn the real knowledge of life. We never learn from our life. We learn from the universities. That education which is just only created to make us survive, that we can just only find a job after that.
It was lovely speaking with you today
Okay.
at the Rishikesh.
Namaste.
Thank you for being with us. We will introduce to the new guest in our shows. So until that, you can share your thoughts, and if you have some questions regarding Rishikesh, you can write to us, email us, and thank you for the day. Namaste.